shelf company? A shelf company, also called an aged company or ready-made company, is a corporation, LLC, or similar entity that was filed on a prior date. So if a company was filed, say, 10 years ago, you can buy it and you will own a 10-year-old company. Like antique furniture, fine wine, collectible coins, vintage automobiles, its value can increase with age. I've been in the company formation business since 1991. I believe we have over 65,000 clients in our database, and we are the world leader in selling shelf companies. Let's say you are an architect, engineer, builder, or other profession as a sole proprietorship for several years. You want to take advantage of the lawsuit protection and tax benefits of a corporation or LLC, but you don't want to look like you just got started. So you can obtain an aged company with a similar age to your sole proprietorship and maintain your existing longevity. A corporation by law is a person separate from the owners. And according to Wikipedia, corporate personhood is the legal notion that a corporation is separate from its associated human beings, like owners, managers, or employees. Thus, it has at least some of the legal rights and responsibilities enjoyed by natural persons. So when you buy stock in Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, you're buying stock in an aged company. And in the case of a shelf company we're discussing here, you typically buy 100% of the entity rather than just a few shares of stock. Now you can change the name of the company, change its business type, but the age stays the same. So even if a company sat dormant for some time, its original filing date marks its age as a separate entity. Now here's an analogy comparing a human person to a legal or corporate person. John was a 25-year-old airplane pilot. He crashed his plane and went into a coma. Then 25 years later, he comes out of the coma and becomes, let's say, a barber. So it goes from flying airplanes to cutting hair post-coma. A totally different profession, and let's say John changes his name to Fred and moves to another state or country. How old is he then? Now at that point, John, now named Fred, is still 50 years old regardless of the activities that transpired between his birthday and now 50 years later. It's the same with a corporation, a company or LLC, can operate and then go into a coma, so to speak, for failure to pay its annual renewal fees to the government. Once the prior owner pays those fees, the company comes out of the coma and is active and in good standing. You can change its name, it can operate a new type of business, say from lawn mowing to construction, change locations, say from Wyoming to California or New York, change owners from the prior owner to you, but for legal purposes, it is a legal person separate from its owners, and its age is based on its original filing date, just like the birth date of our coma-revived pilot turned barber. So for example, Tiffany & Company started in 1837 as a stationery company. They sold weapons to the U.S. Army and surgical equipment. Now they are a very different business selling luxury jewelry. Avon started in 1886 selling books door to door. They used to give away free perfume to get in the door. Now they are a well-known beauty products company. Nokia was founded on May 12, 1865 as a paper mill. They turned wood chips into paper products. The company was bought and sold numerous times. Now, Nokia is known as a mobile communications company. Abercrombie Fitch started in 1892 as a sporting goods equipment store selling fishing equipment and tents. It filed for bankruptcy in 1977, then years later became known as a leading fashion brand for adolescents. Now these companies are all over 100 years old, so naturally, all of the original owners of these corporations are dead and gone, and the businesses have changed drastically. But the companies themselves are separate from the individuals associated with them, and the company has its own date of origin separate from the ages of those people. But the age of the companies lend great credibility to the business. So in this competitive world, how do you stand out from the crowd? How do you lend credibility to customers, lenders, the public in general? Today, you can purchase an aged shelf company and obtain instant longevity. Now, we do recommend full disclosure, that you let others know you just recently obtained the shelf company, and then it was dormant for a while, and then is now in a different business type. So we're not talking about tricking people here. We're talking about being totally transparent while at the same time taking advantage of the legal personhood of an existing company and using the laws to your favor to obtain a competitive advantage. So you can look at people in the eye and tell them honestly that your company is 2, 10, 20, 100 years old. You can tell them you just recently obtained ownership of the company, and that business longevity can lend credibility to your business enterprise. So what are some of the other advantages of a shelf company? Number one, to save time. Let's say you have a real estate closing and you'd like to buy it in an LLC right away. Now, in most cases, we can email you the articles and tax ID number in PDF version the same day you place your order. You can use them the same day. You can usually open a bank account the same day. Number two, to bid on contracts. Some organizations require your business to be a certain age before you can qualify for consideration. So you can bypass the waiting period by placing the bid in your own aged company. Number three, to borrow money from lenders. Some lenders will only lend to businesses that are 2 years old or more. Again, please use full disclosure. Number four, equipment and office leasing. Many leasing companies won't rent office space or equipment to companies that are less than 6 months old. And number five, public perception. Just like the sole proprietorship turned corporation or LLC, you don't want it to look like you just opened shop yesterday. So an aged company can tell the true story of the lifespan of your profession. So how do you obtain a shelf company? All you need to do is make a call to our staff at 1-888-444-4812. That's 1-888-444-4812. And you can also fill out a free consultation form on our website and ask about obtaining a ready-made shelf company for your business. We look forward to hearing from you, and thanks for watching.